objective when I first got started was really to put food on the table.
I wanted to make sure that I could, provide for my family.
What we have to do is to pursue all these avenues to bring as many people as we can into the system. The prepaid legal system is one of the avenues that can be followed and pursued to help solve this problem.
I believe in terms of the attitude of the American people with respect to the operation of our justice system, the denial of access is something which is very counterproductive in the sense that people feel not empowered, but quite the contrary, powerless when faced with those circumstances. And prepaid provides them with a mechanism to gain control over their own lives.
The courtroom doors where I spend most of my time are really not open to average people. It just costs too much money for most people. So when I see an opportunity to have average working people be given the opportunity for not very much money to have high-quality lawyers represent them, I think it's a pretty great thing. It's exciting.
And that's what our program does. It eliminates that problem with not having the ability to afford adequate legal services.
I know a lot of folks look at opportunities. I've been approached with several opportunities. I used to work at a mall in the Maryland area called PG Plaza, and I was a retail manager there. And after graduating from college with a degree in PR, I never got a job in that degree because my experience working at the mall outweighed my degree from college. So they all was feeling stuck at this job. And so I was approached by several different opportunities. And what I was told back then, I want to dispel that myth right up front. I was told, listen, you want to be on the front end of a company, and truly you want to be on the front end of an industry. Because if you start a company today, but that company's already in an industry where everything's you already have a strong market penetration, then it's no good to be in a startup company because the product has already been out there for years. So here we are with a 30-year-old plus company with less than 3% market penetration. So we're actually on the front end of an industry. This is a paradigm shift. We are truly leveling the legal playing field. So that's exciting because I don't have to go to someone and say, listen, my product is better than your product, or my long distance cheaper than your long distance, my makeup's better than your makeup, my vitamins are better than your vitamins. Here's an opportunity where I don't have to say that because I don't have to, of course I don't have to convince you that what I'm offering you is better than what you're using because you're not using what I'm offering.
Absolutely. And I think that's what has been a myth for so long in this network marketing industry is the fact that you have to find the void, fill the void, and you become wealthy. But most of the voids out there have already been filled. So we aren't recreating someone's buying habits because what they're using, as you said, or what we're offering, they haven't used prior to getting the prepaid legal membership. What's exciting for me is not just how well the service works, but what's powerful is to see the lives that are changed as a result of not just our membership, but also the business opportunity that's attached to it. Again, being a former letter carrier for the post office, I never dreamed I'd be in a position where I could help so many other people attain financial freedom for themselves.
I've helped more people that I did not know prior to prepaid legal than people that I did know. And that hurts a little bit because you want to help out your family. But it's been that way for a long time in history. Harriet Tubman, who led the Underground Railroad, said, "I'll free us as slaves. I know exactly where to go. I've gone the route before, and I'm coming back to get you." And when she came back, there were folks who said, "No. How do we know? I'm not sure," when she's already proven it. And so she said, I would have freed thousands of more slaves if they only knew that they were slaves. And so there's so many folks that are enslaved but just don't know that they're enslaved. They're doing the thing they feel like they have to do, not the thing that they want to do in life, not to have the freedom that they could have in life, which has been most refreshing to me. It's not the money, it's being able to spend the quality of time with my friends and family. I have 4 kids and married. And when I worked at the mall, I couldn't just call in and take off whenever I wanted to take off. I had to actually call in and ask permission to take off when my own child was sick. That I didn't feel like was fair. I couldn't just call in and say, listen, today is my daughter's field trip, my son's field trip. Can I take off? They wouldn't allow me to take off. As a matter of fact, I was the manager. So when I called in, there was no one else to go in. So I was there 60, 70, 80 hours a week.
You know, the average father spends about 5 minutes a day with their child, and so it feels good to be in a position, especially as a single father, to have more time than that, to be able to pick and choose how much time I want to spend with my little girl, whether it's popping up and having lunch with her at school and sitting at a table with her and 7 of her close friends, or going on field trips in and throughout the city, or whether it's, you know, being at the ballet classes, the piano classes, or taking her on trips all across the country. That's the beauty of this opportunity, is the time freedom that's associated with the wealth that you're able to accumulate. Of course, you have to find a vehicle that would allow you to create that type of lifestyle. And what we're sharing with you today is that Prepaid Legal is that vehicle that will create that lifestyle for you. No, life is something we all have, but style is the way that you choose to live it. And here's an opportunity that will allow you to live the lifestyle you want.
Today, from bankruptcy, it's just amazing what's happened to us. We have a beautiful home in Windermere, Florida. And then a few years ago, we bought a lake house. We go boating and skiing and sea doing and just really have a good time there. And then last year, we were up here on vacation, and I saw this house, and I said, well, let's go look at it. And we came. Now we own 3 homes. I mean, I'd never dreamed I would own 3 homes. I just never dreamed it in my life.
Well, you know, Prepaid Legal Services definitely creates freedom. Working Prepaid Legal part-time, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that, you know, putting a few hours a week in, we were seeing results. What we've created is just amazing. We're here in Southern California, just a few minutes up the road from Laguna Beach, which is our favorite place, probably one of our favorite places in the whole world. In addition to that, I've wanted a swimming pool since I was a little kid, and I kind of had to convince my wife of this and sell the swimming pool to her. But our swimming pool is something we created. It's more than just a pool. It's our lifestyle. 7 days a week, we're here with our kids. We're in the jacuzzi. We're going down the water slide. So we just have a blast.
We live about 1.5 miles from one of the most beautiful beaches in the state of Hawaii, Kailua Beach. It's gorgeous. It's about a 2-mile long white sand, just as you imagine, coconut trees and all, beautiful beach. And so we take our kids down there quite often. We go for strolls or, you know, just to play and swim and whatnot. One of the reasons this is such an appealing opportunity is because of that, of the time aspect. You know, so many of the families here in Hawaii have to work 2 to 3 jobs, you know, both, sometimes one parent or both parents, and I believe that people could literally make more money doing this business part-time than working, you know, 2 or 3 jobs and just having no time for their family at all. So they do not get to enjoy the beauty of this place and all it has to offer. People pay thousands of dollars to come here on vacation, and yet we live in paradise, and very few people get to experience that paradise.
We're talking about beyond your own wealth, beyond you getting a car, you getting a house. All those things are nice, and those trappings of success are nice. But it's beyond that. It's generational wealth. And so for me to go back and retire my grandmother meant more than the money, but it took the money to do it. For me to say, Grandma, listen, you're in your 80s, you're working 2 jobs, you're cleaning up the cafeteria in the church. Listen, do you work because you have to or because you want to? And her exact words, baby, I work because I have to, Granddad, and I have things around the house we've got to do. And we're able to go in, my wife and I, Tracy, we're able to go into the kitchen that day, that Mother's Day, and say, Grandma, you are now retired. But that's the power of having access to an opportunity like this.
Absolutely, and I would dare say that the generation prior to ours didn't have that opportunity, and so it feels good to be in a position. I watched my mother work 32 years for the electric company to retire and start living out of her savings, not being able to buy the car that she wanted upon retirement. And so it feels good to be in a system again that allows us not only to be able to provide for our families, but to be able to go back a generation and also provide for them. I can't, you know, I can recall my mother's face when I was able to buy her a new car with cash and present it to her at a cookout at my home. It was just an incredible feeling, not because of the success that I've had, but to be able to bless the people who were there for us from the beginning. I know we always talked about being in a position